Okay, Assalamualaikum. Hi everyone. Alhamdulillah, this is our first lesson, Introduction to Learning. Okay, so beginning in chapter 1, we're going to discuss most of it is what's learning all about, and of course, going to begin with defining what is learning and what are the things that relates with the learning process, method, and maybe uh, elements that involve in learning. And it's so much important that as a teacher, we need to understand the learning process and progress is very important to be improved in the children's worlds, where we're going to make sure that the element involved, including mental, emotion, their psychomotor, the physical part, the physiological things, and social is upgraded and updated every day, and we can see the result from the grades, and is going to be involved in all the areas that should be covered in learning. So let's look into the slide one by one. Okay, we start by defining what is learning. The definition of learning here, if the question asks what is learning, and normally you have some idea about it, you have gone through before, and where from the beginning of your life you can see your progress itself, you can see what things that you have learned, and what the element that been discussed just now have been in your own progress and your own experience in your own learning life. Okay, and from that and situation, you might kind of applying to the next generation, which is your children later on, especially when you are a teacher. Okay, there are several and point that been covered and highlight here, so let's look at it one by one and try to understand the terms that relates with learning. Number one, it is a relative, lasting, changing. Okay, learning shows that is one of the progress that takes time, and it's going to be last long. So what going to be there is the changing process, and the evolution that we face throughout times, that we uh, walk the path and towards one point. So it's a journey that changing us, because you get some information, several inputs that leads you to making decision, or um, choosing a choice, can, okay, for example, like what you have learned throughout your preschool experience and environment leads you to understand the next primary levels, where maybe your social way of interaction with others could be different, because last time you only focusing on yourself, now you want to please others, and you want to respect people, especially teachers, and okay, and then you also learn about your physical, and how you run, how you walk, should be in the good manners, where and when to do different activities. Okay, there are places you need to walk, but there are some you need to run, for example in sport. So you are learning those process, including you are upgrading your skills, writing, reading, hearing things, and try to speak out. And then maybe you are also trying to learn how to use your thinking, how to be calculative, how to comprehend things. Okay, so this is a changing process, so it's considered a learning definition. All right, and then this changing normally we can see in the term of the behavior. Okay, how you react to things, okay, how you deal with it, how you respond when being asked question. So the behavior and is a result of the experience from that learning process. For example, like when people ask you a question and you keep quiet, so this person normally will teach you, okay, dear student, or my beloved son and daughter, if someone asks question, you should answer that question. So you learn how to interact, to converse, eh? Okay. In another way, for example, like when people throwing ball at you, you need to catch up, and you need to hold it, you need to pass through, you need to maybe kick it, and so this is a part of the result that can be shown in the behavior. What else? Maybe when people give you a present, so what you need to reply towards that, can how is going to show appreciation to them. So this is some other examples. Okay, so you are learning in a lot of things, and same goes to maybe when you feel excited, and what is going to be the way you express your excitement. So this is a part of learning process. Okay, I hope you get it. Continue on it. It involves scientific study of changes. Specifically, we can look at the changes in the scientific way. So when you have scientific, it shows that it's proved to be as it's supposed to be. So this process really works. For example, if I teach you how to read, you will able to read it. If I teach you how to write ABC numbers, you can do it later on, because it's a proof scientific study. So the changes that we want the children to have, for example, to use pencil or coloring, maybe drawing, and what else? I mean, singing and movement and dancing. So this is a part of the way we can show it works, and even maybe sometime better. I teach you how to punch, and on the punching bag, for example, later on you might punch people who try to bully you. Okay, so what else? You can write down your own examples. Okay, it because you have been in those experience, and you can see that it's proved to you how you learn things from your teacher last time. You can use the same method to the children because it's proven. Okay, of course, in behavior, other than that, including cognitive, which is your mental, emotion, with your feeling, biology inside of you, or we call physiology. You need to learn how to take care of your heart, your lung, your stomach, your muscle, your bones, your appearance, your skin, your cleanliness, for example, and social. Okay, and how to be friend, how to polite shows, and how to help others and in needs, for example. Okay, and this happen across childhood span. Hopefully you can learn a lot here, even though yeah, we can learn more after that. All right, got it? Okay, let's continue. What we have next? What is child? Even though this might be a very simple question and a lot of other subject discussing the same thing, it's just to add up that we are teaching the children. We want the children to show and upgrade the learning process. So we try to look at in different way of what is child. Child is born with unique temperament. So we need to understand, we want the learning process take place, we need to know the children first. We need to identify which part that we want them to learn. So which area that when we teach them, the learning process could be effective. Okay, own special individual characteristic. They have their own character. So we want to teach them according to their character sometime, because if you do that, you can recognize the differences. You might use the method that really suit them. And for talkative character, maybe we can use a different method compared to a very passive and inferior kind of children. Maybe another method need to be applied. So identifying different character of children help us to teach them, so that the method being used could really help them to learn a lot, right? And in general, Islamic view that fitrah as a children will be absolute pure state, meaning they have nothing yet. We are the one who going to put and install all the goodness, hopefully, and by removing all the other bad behavior, or um, maybe this inborn um, heritage of uh, kind of okay. So by now we know that we want to teach the children, so try to know their own individual differences, the unique and special characteristic, because they have their temperament within themselves. And then we can use the scientific study to show that the learning process should take place, and by having that process, we can see the progress of learning in the children. Is it improving, and how much percentage of improvement that we can see, right? Okay, and next slide. Islamic view continue from the fitrah itself. Important to identify its correlation. We want in this matter that we're discussing the subject, any ECE theory and practical from the Western perspective should be viewed in the Islamic way, because we want to have this correlation. We want to have this Islamization of knowledge, where this is a part of our motto and vision, mission of the college. So from the Islamic perspective view, we can see that aspect of absorbing information. A part of the learning process is to know that the children is absorbing a lot of information during their childhood period. Okay, and by observing others and how they learn things, they observe others and they try to do it themselves. So this is how the learning process takes place in the children, so that the children so that the children learn better. And this is how to copycat behavior that's proof the learning process take place. Okay, and then engaging them with the process of attain purification, meaning that and the involvement process, it involves that we want to purify those character. Some character been seen as bad behavior, and maybe like destructive children. The other one could be destructive kind of character, and they love to destroy things. They love to disturb people, and they have this, we can say, a bit of naughty and style. So what we want to do is to attain the purification. We want to clear them out from having those kind of character in the future. So it's very important that when we face this kind of, and we, we can call it a naughty and habit, we need to change it. So that's why the changing words been used before. Okay, continue from that. It's also referred to the intellectual, that the mind need to be upgrade, learning the thinking process, how to use their mind, how to absorb information, how to retrieve content, how to elaborate the ideas, okay, and maybe put some thoughts into several points, then okay, keywords for example. And then other than intellectual, the mind thinks. Conduct here shows the example of behavior, meaning they observe their conduct, meaning they need to make sure that their behavior, the way they react and respond towards things, should be in a controlled manners. Using the word manners here, same as conduct. And other meaning of conduct is to look at your appearance and look at your way and style of showing and expressing in front of others. So this is also conduct, including habits. And what is habits? Things that you are used to, the regularity of your daily routine. So for example, if you are wake up so early in the morning, so that's good. But what if the child so lazy to wake up? So we need to change that. We need to put some learning and method, so that they understand when they grow up, they need to wake up very early. As to us, we still in the process of learning, and sometimes the habit came back to us, how to deal with those kind of and bad habits. Okay, and maybe we do learn a lot of other really problematic habits, and for example, like maybe smoking, maybe love to arguing so much, or your temper and mad angriness, and is so high. So you need to keep on learning how to control those things. And last one, and before we end, inculcate morality, cultivate knowledge, meaning you need to learn a lot of adab and akhlaq. What else that have been shown as a good moral conduct, as a behavior or action, and that please others, acceptable by the culture, and people love when you do it. So that's called morality. It's a standard norms that you follow, because this is the way of a civilized people live on. Okay, how you have a soft spoken, how you greet others, how you be polite in dealing and handling people's, especially when people need helps or you want to offer helps, right? Okay, and cultivate knowledge mean you need to increase and improve your knowledge, the information, the content, the reading and writing should be in your practice, because this is the focus and purpose of learning. What else other than that? The importance of having feeding your mind and your brain with a lot of ideas and information, that's really helps the mind to develop, and this consider as a learning process. Okay, hopefully by now you get the point and you understand it, and that's a conclude for the first topic. Thank you.